Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of The Fellows. Hope you guys got a little rumble in your tummy for some old raw pumpkin pie. Back in my day when this had nothing to cook them, so we used to say them raw with our little pumpkin water.
So what are we making? Are we making pumpkin?
Let's do
Jack-o'-lantern pie?
pumpkin cream cheese pie in a churro filling.
It's like an empanada, a fried empanada with pumpkin and cream cheese.
So fucking good.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm eating one right now. It's goddamn delicious.
Okay. What do we make it with?
Well, we have to go with Hankson's pumpkin pie. There's
Yeah,
no
we
way.
don't have any choice.
No way around it.
say vanilla custard cheesecake also, right? And maybe Lorenz.
Yeah.
Lorenz
like
cream
that,
cheese
yeah.
icing. They're kind of the same thing, though, aren't they?
Yeah, but I think that the LA adds a little bit more cream cheese, like makes it more cream cheesy.
Or a little touch of Inawera.
Yeah.
Yes, with cheesecake.
Yeah.
There was another flavor that we use for a cheese.
Flavor West cheesecake. That's what I use for a cream cheese.
I think you're talking
Yeah.
about the cheese Danish where we use the Italian cream.
Oh, the Italian cream. Yeah.
I don't think that's right for this though.
Mascarpone, maybe, but not really. I don't know. I've never got that flavor to work.
That's fucking a hard no.
It's going to take over everything. Especially with the pumpkin. Imagine that mascarpone with the pumpkin spice.
Yeah,
there. No. So we're going to use Hansen pumpkin pie. LA cream cheese icing for sure.
Now, the cream cheese icing is what it says. It's an icing. It's not really cream cheese. I mean, it's got a little bit of that note in it, right? Are we going to add something in there that kind of mimics the real cream cheese?
Yeah, that's why I was saying vanilla custard cheesecake.
But nachos
3-to-1.
don't have that flavor.
I mean,
Then he probably used like Inawera.
What about a Flavora cheesecake?
it's so bland to me. It's got like a cardboard note in it.
I don't get that. Not a problem.
I still think like LA cream cheese icing and Inawera Yes We cheesecake would totally work.
I mean, that would be close. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like a big part of the recipe either. I mean, the bigger part, you don't want it to muddle the pumpkin.
No, it kind of needs to set separate from the pumpkin because this is not like a pumpkin pie filling. A pumpkin pie filling is in essence a custard.
And do you think that the pumpkin pie is enough for the filling?
It's really the only thing that you can really use if you just want a pumpkin.
Because it's not real
Um,
pumpkin spicy.
It's not pumpkin spicy at all. It's just like almost like raw pumpkin.
You're making it sound so unappetizing. It's like a raw cooked pumpkin.
Yeah, it's like canned
It's
pumpkin,
like
no flavor at all.
Some chopped, mushed pumpkin. Don't that sound good? Wrap that up in a churro. I'll eat that all day. Every morning I start my day with a bowl of raw pumpkin. Eat it with my churro spoon.
For the crust?
I think that this might be a spot for Graham's favorite flavor of all times.
Really?
Might work.
Maybe.
What about the fried?
Cinnamon pastry dough.
That might be the one to use.
I think cinnamon pastry dough would be better. Deep fried pastry dough. That's what I'm thinking of. Because it's got that spice note in it.
So here's my idea. If we try to make the pastry dough with the spice and not the pumpkin with the spice, if that's possible. I don't know if it's possible. So that deep fried pastry dough might be just the thing. But I was also thinking perhaps, and this is just an idea, if we threw just a little bit of AP.
Yeah, but that deep fry, one of the flavors, I don't remember, deep fry pastry, is more like a donut than a churro.
But that's why I suggested putting in the AP to kind of make it kind of crunchy.
I wouldn't go AP, but I like the idea of using something crunchy. I'd either go Inawera biscuit or I'd use cereal
Cinnamon
37.
crunch.
What if we added something like a FA cookie?
Anything crunchy.
What if we use like Wonder Flavor croissant?
But they're still too chewy.
I don't see it crunchy. I see it more soft.
Yeah, but we also have 2 creams in here.
To me, it looks very crunchy. I mean, it's deep fried.
It's
Right.
crunchy, but churros are crunchy and then soft on the inside.
We've kind of got the softness covered.
I'm gonna try cookie.
And what cookie? FA or Jungle Flavors? I would go FA.
Yeah, it's more crunchy.
Yeah, it's got more AP and more more of an AP note to it.
It has more of a penis on it.
I think like mixing it with crepe might work too. You know the inside of the inside of a churro is like kind of a crepey, with maybe like a little
Yeah.
bit of that, like maybe like 1% to 3%. No, I mean like 1 to 3 with the deep fried pastry dough.
A pancake maybe, but not a crepe.
Yeah, there is.
I would say
the-
I would say waffle would even work here though. I mean, what do you guys think? We could go with the deep fried pastry dough and see if, because we all know that flavor.
There's a different texture inside of a churro that makes it a churro. Get
It's
there.
full of grease and it's more cakey.
Yeah, but the only problem with deep fried pastry is if it is more like a donut. The flavor, not the texture.
But a churro is pretty close to a goddamn donut.
But that's why we're adding the FA cookie to try to crunch that donutty part up a little bit.
We're never
Sponge
gonna
bun
know
bit.
until we just try this and see what the fuck works. But I think we're like really stressing out about like we haven't even
Yeah.
tried it yet. And then I was just thinking, finish it off with cinnamon sugar, because that's definitely what's on the outside of it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's gonna be separate from everything.
If we need it, we can use Wonder Flavors cinnamon pastry.
Yeah, I picked that up just so I could smell it side by side.
Do you want to talk about percentages?
I do.
Hansen pumpkin pie, I have no idea.
4%.
Okay. Yeah, I have no. I really don't know how much to use.
That's one of the Hangson flavors that you can use high, because it's a real watery kind of flavor. It's got pumpkin flavor, absolutely, but it's just very watery.
You're not-
is.
You're
It
not
is.
selling this to people at all. People are gonna be like, if you want a really nice bowl of raw pumpkin with a little bit of water put on it.
But that's what this flavor is. So with most pumpkin flavors out there, you get nutmeg spice, you get maybe some cinnamon in it,
Yeah.
and it's just nasty. It's just spice. It's just pumpkin spice. With this flavor, it's just like if you go to the grocery store and you buy a can of pumpkin, that's what this is. So it sounds very bland and plain, but that's the beauty of it, the fact that it is bland and plain. You can do a lot of different things with it. You can change it. You can add more spice to it. You can use it in so many different ways. It's very versatile.
Definitely redeemed yourself on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a lot better than saying it was a chopped up raw pumpkin in a bowl with some water in it. It's the best. The other one's got like
Definitely.
nutmeg and spices and some other weird shit going on there. You don't want the ones that taste good. You want the one that's
Mm-mm.
raw pumpkin in a bowl.
Yeah.
You want the watery raw pumpkin right off the farm with a little bit of dirt on it. But then they took the water and they cleaned it off, but they left it in the bowl.
Wait, do we need something to jam this flavor up?
That didn't sound perfect to you? Bowl of raw pumpkin. What do you want,
Yeah,
bud?
fix that. His pumpkin sparkling spice water.
What are you not getting? This
Right
sounds
in the pumpkin
delicious,
water.
doesn't it?
So the deep the deep fried pastry dough, Wonder Flavors, is it very buttery, or is it more oily?
Yeah, it's more oily, I'd say.
Do you think we need to add just a little bit of a butter note to this?
If we need that, we can change the cookie for a biscuit.
I'm afraid there's.
And
gonna be
yes,
too much
I
cream.
said biscuit. I said
Why
biscuit.
are we using cookies?
All right.
Wrap it up.
Anyway, the
All
LA
right.
cream cheese icing.
I wouldn't go more than 1% on that one.
Now we're on to the cream cheese at 1.
Would
They
you go
got-
last? We
Yeah.
got Yes Sweet Cheesecake too.
Yeah. What
So-
do y'all think on that?
I say 1 or lower or more. I don't know. There's other options too, aren't there? All the options.
Even.
Or how about just whatever Folkart said?
So normally when I create some kind of cheesecake or cream cheese kind of thing, I use Yes Sweet Cheesecake at around 3 to 4%, and then LA cream cheese icing at around 0.5%. But with this, I think we need to flip that almost, where you get more of the cream cheese icing than you do the cheesecake. No, we
That's
don't-
why I was saying 1%.
Right, exactly. So with the Yes Sweet Cheesecake, maybe around 2%.
And the deep fry pastry dough,
Awesome.
like 1.5, 2.
I think 1.5 should be fairly fried doughy, right?
Yeah, because we don't want this to be a donut.
Okay, so the Wonder Flavors deep fried pastry dough at what, 2? Or I'm sorry, 1.5?
Just as a baseline,
What about the FA cookie?
0.5.
What about the capped cinnamon sugar?
I'm sure it's
Yeah.
only gonna be somewhere between a quarter. Well, I want to get an idea
No.
for it before I add it.
I was thinking push it up relatively high, like 1%.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, there's no fucking spice. My bad. I always think that there's fucking
Yeah.
spice in the fucking.
So how much on the capped cinnamon sugar? 1?
Yeah, one.
Okay.
You made it, chef?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah. What's wrong with it?
I know. I get like a plastic note
I think it's a deep fried.
going towards a donut, but in a bad way. Maybe the pastry, the deep fried pastry with the cinnamon sugar is not the best combo.
It's way better without the cinnamon sugar.
Maybe use raw sugar.
Or cinnamon pastry.
Cinnamon pastry has a little bit of the deep fried thing going on in it.
I don't know if we use cinnamon pastry. Do we need a deep fried pastry though?
No, use like cannoli or something to crunchy it up.
I might go that way. Cannoli shell and cinnamon pastry. Maybe
Probably.
one of that and 2% the cinnamon pastry.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm gonna try this again.
Okay, guys, so this is our first version of a cream cheese pumpkin fried pie. Popeyes sells these things, and Graham is in love with them. He eats them all the time. So first, we're going to be going with Wonder Flavors cannoli shell at 1%. Next, we're going to be going with Wonder Flavors cinnamon pastry at 2%. Next, we're adding Loren's cream cheese icing at 1%. For our pumpkin note, we're going to be using Hank's pumpkin pie at 4%. I'm going to add a little bit of sweetener to this. I'm going to use Flavor West sweetener at 0.5%. And last, we're going to be using Inawera Yes Sweet Cheesecake at 2%.
This is pretty sweet.
I like it.
It's way more layered. I
Definitely.
feel like there should be more pumpkin though.
You're never gonna not think that with this pumpkin. You'll never not think there needs to be more. Until it's too much. It's weird.
What if like 1 more percent?
Possibly.
I'm getting like a nice amount of cream though.
What do you think, Folkart?
This is good. I like it. I think that if we could get more pumpkin, I think we should try. I think the sweetness level probably needs to go up just a little bit.
Yeah, the same.
We're going pumpkin showing up more with sweetener.
Let me add a few drops to this.
It's almost like it needs a little bit more of all things.
Okay. I like the spice level. Cinnamon pastry or cinnamon one flavor cinnamon pastry. Spot on.
Yeah.
Cannoli shell. I like the spices it's bringing too. I don't think of it as super crunchy.
How do y'all think the cream cheese is sitting in there?
I don't get much cream cheese in this. I get the creamy feeling from it, but not the cheesy part.
I'm really surprised that I'm not picking up more of the cream cheese icing in this, because at 1% cream cheese icing is pretty prominent.
I like the cream layer, but I don't think it's cheesy enough.
But if we add more of that, I think it's if you go over 1%, it starts to get funky.
Okay, I put like 1% more of the pumpkin pie. There is not much difference.
If we were to go up with the pumpkin pie, I would say go up to 6. Graham, you've tasted the real thing. What's your opinion on how this tastes compared to the real thing?
It's fairly close. It's fairly close. It just needs to be picked a little bit up. Like everything just needs a little bit of pick.
I have here the Flabora cheesecake. I'm gonna try that one. Just
Okay,
a few drops.
try that.
I'm gonna add more cannoli shell.
Flabora cheesecake at 1% makes the cheese cream more real. I like it.
Okay, this is weird.
What?
This came from Dustin Singer. What about peach pie and cream?
Why?
You think that would be weird because he did that with a yam thing, And that kind of worked for like a it was super weird, but it did work with the cinnamon pastry.
So are you thinking that the peach part of that peach pie and cream is going to be hidden by the pumpkin and the spice, and just let the pumpkin kind of shine through, where you get that kind of pie filling kind of vibe?
Kind of lift that pumpkin part. I think I want to try it.
It may
I want
work.
to try it. It might work. I don't know.
It might make it softer though.
Well, I added cannoli shell too. I added another 0.5%, and I added another percent of pumpkin pie. This kind of works. It's super weird. It almost makes it more fruity, but it's super like, I think you could even go up higher than 0.5%. But this kind of does work. Somebody just try this. Tell me if I'm crazy.
How much are you using?
1%. And it's no
That's-
peach. It's
That's
not
nothing
peach.
for that flavor.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's filling out the pumpkin more.
But just smelling the Wonder Flavors peaches and cream, there's almost like a cream cheese to kind of cream cheesy note in there.
This is what I would do. I would use cannoli shell at 2, cinnamon pastry at 2, cream cheese icing, maybe leave it at 1, pumpkin pie at 5 or 6, and instead of yes with cheesecake, I would use like 1 or 1.5 of Flavora cheesecake, and maybe that the peach pie and cream.
Shout out to Dustin Singer. It was a good idea what he did in that mix.
Yeah,
Hey,
a bright.
Kind of works, right?
yeah,
It really lifts that pumpkin pie.
it's really nice.
It's fucking weird, but it really does work with the pumpkin pie.
I get like a vibe of the peach, but because I know there is a peach. I would really use Flavora cheesecake instead of the yes with cheesecake, because we already have the cream from the peach pie and cream.
I'm going to use the Flora cheesecake because I'm not really picking up the Inner Yes with cheesecake at 2%.
Does it need to steep that pumpkin pie? Does it come out more?
Not really, no.
What do you think? It's done?
For me, this is a finished recipe.
Yeah, I think it's done too.
Yeah, I think it's done. It's
Look at that.
it's a little bit brighter than I was expecting, but it's really good.
Yeah, you know those apple pies you buy in McDonald's? Do you have that over there? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that kind of pie.
What do you think, Graham?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But the outside's like a churro.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode develop while we tried to make a pumpkin cream cheese churro bite. Graham loves them. He lives off of them. He buys them from Popeyes all the time, and he was very excited about it. So we decided to try to make it, and I think it came out pretty good. But you guys should definitely mix this up, and we will see you guys on Thursday to talk about it. Thursday, 6 p.m. Finger guns, motherfucker. Fucking crushed that one.